Hi everyone, my name is Edith Lopez, and today I wanted to talk about toxicity and the lethal dose of fluoride. So the purpose of this video was to introduce fluorine, educate on fluoride toxicity and the lethal dose, how much toothpaste does my daughter need to swallow in order for it to be toxic or lethal, and any safety issues. So originally, as first-time parents, we are very concerned about everything, and I was always worried if I put too much toothpaste, not enough toothpaste, and you see the warning labels and you're just concerned. So this is what led to this video and the breaking down of everything. So let's first go ahead and talk about fluorine fast facts. So fluorine is the 9th element on the periodic table and a halogen. It's also the most electronegative and the most reactive. Fluorine also exists as a diatomic in its standard state. So too much of a good thing. So fluoride toxicity. According to potential fluoride toxicity from oral medicaments, a review, it says symptoms include nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, diarrhea, weakness, hypocalcemia, which is an electrolyte imbalance, and a progressive mixed metabolic and respiratory acidosis may develop because of the failure of renal and respiratory systems, coma, convulsions, terminating, and death. Now, a lethal fluoride dose is the quantity of an agent that will or may be sufficient to cause death. So fluoride toxicity can lead to death, assuming that it's never that it's not getting treated. And so what I wanted to find out was, how much does she need to swallow in order to get toxicity, and how much does she need to swallow for a lethal dose? For fluoride and sodium fluoride. So this is where we find out how much fluorine is in the actual toothpaste. So we know that our sodium, we need to find our atomic masses for sodium and for fluoride. So we end up with an atomic mass of 42 atomic mass units. Now in your toothpaste, of your kid's toothpaste, you should be able to flip it and find the amount of sodium fluoride in the kid's label. So for my daughters, it has 0.243% weight per volume of sodium fluoride. So now we wanted to convert it into milligrams over grams, so we compound multiplied it, and that led us to 2.43 milligrams of sodium fluoride per gram. Now we wanted to find the amount of fluorine in the amount of sodium fluoride. So we did these conversion factors in order to get the amount of fluorine in the 2.43 milligrams. So we end up with 1.1 milligram of fluorine ion per gram of toothpaste. Now for calculations, I ended up weighing my daughter. I ended up weighing my daughter's clothes just to see if that had any effect, which it didn't. And I ended up weighing her. And my daughter weighed 27.3 pounds. So we have to convert that into kilograms. She ended up being 12.4 kilograms. Now, this little handy chart here lets us know how many milligrams of fluorine she'd have to take per kilogram. So we calculate the toxic dose by multiplying her weight in kilograms, and we end up with 62.5 milligrams of fluoride. Now, if you recall in our last slide, there was 1.1 milligram per gram of ion in her toothpaste. So we multiply the toxic dose by the 1.1, or divide it by 1.1 per gram of toothpaste, and we end up with 56.8 grams of toothpaste. And in her toothpaste, there's 130 grams. So that's a little less than half. A little less than half of the toothpaste tube. So that's the amount she'd need to swallow in order for her to have a toxic dose. In order to find the lethal dose, in our handy chart here, we have 16 milligrams per body weight. So again, we do the same math. We multiply it times her body weight in kilograms, and we end up with 198.4 milligrams of fluoride. Again, we use the conversion from our last slide, which is the 1.1 milligram. So we divide the lethal dose by the amount of fluorine, right? So the units cancel out, and we end up with 100.3 grams of toothpaste. So like I said, my tube of toothpaste has 130 grams. And so she'd have to have that entire tube of toothpaste plus some in order for her to have a lethal dose. Now for some safeties. So as parents, we are always concerned. And so we should store toothpaste in a safe area. We should also put the recommended amount as told to you by your dentist. When my daughter was a little under 2, we were told that she should be having an amount of you should put an amount of a grain of rice. And then as she got older, a little over 3, that she needed to have a pea-size amount. Again, speak to your dentist and see how much your kid needs. As parents, we should also be educating our kids to not swallow or eat the toothpaste. Kids' toothpastes are not meant to be super minty flavors, and so they're sweet and pretty good tasting. And so a lot of the time the kids will want to just swallow instead of spit out. And I think we have a responsibility as parents to teach them that they need to spit it out instead of swallowing. Now, I hope that you were able to learn about the amount that is toxic to a 27-pound kid. And the amount that is lethal. So while I am not incredibly worried about her getting toxicity, I'm still following the dentist orders and putting the amount that is right for her. I hope that this was helpful and educating you, and I hope that you learned a lot. Thank you.